Good morning, KW203. How's everybody today? Silva's good. David and Lisa, good. Dana, thumbs up. Sherry Lee, all right. Dan's good. Come on, Dan, you're good. Mary Pat's smiling. All right, good, awesome. Well, it's Tuesday. It's a beautiful Tuesday. And hey, it's the last day of summer. Tomorrow's the first day of fall. How'd that happen? Crazy. Kind of liking the crisp weather. It's kind of nice, but I love the summer too. Okay, let's jump right to announcements real quick, guys. Got a bunch, so get your pens out. So today at 9:30, tomorrow at 9:30, and Thursday at 9:30, Business Builders with Debbie Orr, Zoom lead generation. Many of you are doing it, and I think many more of us should be doing it. It's a great opportunity to be with your colleagues on Zoom. You're muted and you're making your calls, and there's accountability there. And Debbie's got some great tips every day for that. So that's what's going on 9:30. Noon, we have today expert marketing with Christina Fry. Those of you, many of you follow Christina Fry. Many of you use Christina Fry, her services. She's noon today, expert marketing class. So please be there if you're interested in that. It's always riveting with Christina. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock, we'll start tomorrow at noon, profit share team. A group of us have been getting together every other week and brainstorming, masterminding about profit share, and really have come up with some really interesting ideas. So that again will be tomorrow at noon. 1 o'clock tomorrow, the open house class with Christopher Grass is being rescheduled. So look for that, we'll announce that soon. Thursday at 1 o'clock, 1 o'clock on Thursday. Really interesting class with Diane Del Vecchio from the ALC in Stanford, going to be talking about knowing how to do business in the state of New York. Diane is an expert, and she's bringing on a couple other experts to talk about that, because there are nuances and some real changes. I mean, there's a lot different in New York than here in Connecticut. Those of you who want some clarity around that, because you're dabbling in business in New York, I suggest you go on. Those of you who are curious about the business in New York, go on to that class Thursday at 1 o'clock with Diane Del Vecchio. Thursday as well at 5:30 is career night. In this Zoom room, Dan and I will be conducting career night. And again, I know I've been hearing about a bunch, Dan, I don't know about you, people who are invited. So we're expecting a good crowd, right? And then next week, guys, the 28th, Tuesday? Tuesday the 28th at 11 o'clock in this Zoom room, the Social Equity Workshop, right? Our new Social Equity Committee, nationwide, worldwide, here at KW. They've put together a workshop that gets delivered in all the market centers, and that's going to be delivered to us by Marissa Gilberti, again, ALC member here in Stamford. She's been on the committee, committing her time, dedicating her time to that committee, and there's a whole lot of real valuable information there. So please join us the 28th at 11 o'clock. That's about it. That's a lot to announce, a lot going on. So it is Tuesday. It's Tammy Tuesday, one of my favorite days. Tammy, what do you got for us from Loan Depot?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Tuesday. And I am very sad. This happens to be the saddest day of the year for me, the last day of summer. Those of you who know me know that, I mean, the whole 13 weeks of summer is like a holiday to me. So today I want to talk to you guys two things real quick. Don't forget, my CMA a day challenge is blazing hot still. We are 8 weeks in. We just did our 8 weeks yesterday. We had a makeup class last night. So feel free, if you're missing it, I'll put the link below. Jump in. We are like 10 weeks from Thanksgiving. So the idea of the CMA a day challenge is to get your listings ready so that you can have a banging first quarter. So that's number one. Number two, I'm going to be getting Lunch and Learn set up. A lot of requests to do the appraisal gap strategy that I'm happy to share with you guys on how I do that. And then today I want to talk to you guys about rates, closing dates, and calendar management. So interest rates are like airline tickets. You can't buy your airline tickets until you know where you're going and the dates you want to go. Similar with interest rates, you cannot lock your interest rate until you have a house and a date. Now, I want to talk about these dates. I'm seeing a lot of sellers who are putting pressure on our buyers to lock. We need to close in 30 days. We need to close in 30 days. Then we have a situation where it's under probate. And now we've got to wait 30 days. Oh, and by the way, with probate, there's an extra 20 days tacked onto that. So now we've put our buyers through all this pressure to hurry up and make a 30-day close, and we can't even close in 30 days. Diane talking about New York. New York is a whole animal unto itself. We actually don't lock our loans in New York until we're practically clear to close, because just because we have a clear to close and a closing date doesn't mean it's going to happen. I've had situations now where we were scheduled to close on a certain day, and then the closing got pushed out 3 or 4 weeks because the sellers, the attorneys, there's 2 different attorneys involved on these transactions. So when you are talking to your clients, rates should be the last piece of the conversation you have. We understand as lenders that they're important, but we have to make sure all the pieces are in play before we start talking about locking the interest rate. You can't book your trip to Florida until you know when you're going and the dates you're going. You can't lock your interest rate until you have your house and your closing date is somewhat not changing again. So happy Tuesday, happy last day of summer, and I'll see you guys next week.
Thank you, Tammy. Always great stuff. Love your energy, Tammy, on Tuesdays. Love it. Okay, so our spotlight today, guys, on Tuesdays with our new format, we're going to be reviewing all the KW value proposition items and all the great things that KW brings to all of us. And today we're going to talk about and spotlight KWYP, so KW Young Professionals. It's an amazing organization. I am not part of it, and yet I know some folks that are. Dan Leyden is with us today. Dan's been heavily involved with KWYP, especially here in Connecticut, and going to many of their national events. So Dan, why don't you jump on? I see you're with us in the car today. Thanks for squeezing us in, Dan, to your busy schedule.
Yeah, I definitely double booked myself. And we also have Katie Beck from the Philadelphia chapter on the call too. So
awesome.
She's been a big part of growing KWYP in general. I started, I guess it's going on 2.5, 3 years almost. And it really was, it was at family reunion when I was in a room and hearing all of these young people talk about what they're doing. And it just was kind of mind blowing of, you know, some of them owned market centers. They were a 7-level team, meaning their team's running itself and they've kind of stepped away. And the opportunities that come along with that, like outside of just the market center, where, you know, Rick and Steve and Dan are great at providing us with a lot of value and a lot of options and opportunities. But there's always bigger opportunities and more of them outside of the office once you start networking with, you know, regional people and people down in all over the country, really. And I know Silva just said she's coming to my event. Katie's coming up from Philadelphia. We have someone flying in, another KWYP member out in Detroit. We have one coming up from Charlotte. So it's really just this massive community of people networking and growing. And Katie met her future husband through KWYP as well. So
Cool.
Katie, you can touch on kind of what it's brought to you.
Yeah, Katie,
Yeah.
Thanks for being with us. And thanks for wearing your KWYP shirt and everything.
Thanks for having me. Oh, of course. Got to rep.
That's all she owns, actually.
That is true. I have like mostly KWYP clothing. So thank you. And thanks, Dan. I joined KWYP about the same. I launched the Dallas chapter fall of 2018. So about 3 years ago. I was down there for a while, and I'm with Dan. Like, my original intent, I got really excited because my market center had 400 people, and most of them were between the ages of like 50 to 70. And it was great to learn from them, but we had all these brokerages opening up. They had a bunch of younger people. And I was like, you know what? It would be really cool to have a bunch of people going through the same things I am. So let's do this. Let's start it. Let's see what it's like. And if we can just get a little more retention and bring some people on. What I didn't know was going to happen was all of the education, all the things tailor-made to me, and then all of the people in KW who were so willing to give their time and their energy and their wisdom to all of us. I moved to Boston last year. I can't believe that was only last year. Was involved in their chapter. And then I came to Philadelphia, like Dan said. I actually met my fiance through KWYP because we have this amazing community. And when quarantine hit, we all would just get on Zooms for hours every night and talk about what we were doing. We all put together our own educational things. We hung out, we had fun. So it was like we had our little family. And I actually ended up meeting my fiance in there. So I'm in
awesome.
Philadelphia now. We just launched our chapter in January out here, and we've hit 100 members last week, which is really exciting. So we could talk forever about the education, the opportunities. When I joined, people were talking about doing things that I didn't even know were options in the KW world. I've kind of created my own jobs out of going through YP. I worked for a large team down in Dallas, and I thought our agent to agent referrals needed to be improved or have more. And I spent most of 2019, I think the longest I was home was 12 days in a row. And I spent all of 2019 traveling the country, going to YP events, networking, and I got a lot of referrals out of it. But what I got more was my people. And so, we say often you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. And I spend my time with people who are, always working on bettering themselves and pouring into others, and they'll encourage each other and call each other out. And, our conversations are about investment properties and upping our average price point and building our businesses and how to make sure that we're hiring the right people and creating the right opportunities. And it's changed my life. I know it's done a lot for Dan. I'm even more passionate about it now because we say our mission statement is to create the next generation of leaders. And I have a 7-month-old son. So my fiance is the president of our chapter, and we're working real hard to make sure that, the world that we leave him and the industry we leave him is something that, is beneficial for him. So
we actually had a lunch one time. This was mega camper family reunion, and we all added up our GCI and divided it, and it was within like $5,000 of my GCI at the time. And I was just like, this is wild that
Wow.
that rang true, where we had people doing 600, 700,000. And then we had people on the lower end of the spectrum, but there's so much value that we've gotten from it. And myself, I opened up the chapter in Connecticut, and we're looking for other presidents that want to step up for it. Just business and life kind of got in the way in COVID for a while here. But my leadership abilities in my business has grown exponentially. And I know someone mentioned referrals over here. I'll do it at least $100,000 in GCI from referrals from throughout the network. Whether that's me being tagged in posts or just giving business to me. I know someone in Connecticut that's looking to sell, and I'll be the first one they come to. So it really takes your name and gets it on a different level outside of the market center and outside of our little fishbowl, which is kind of cool.
Yeah,
well, and
great.
it doesn't have to be like Dan, you've been in it for a while, and it doesn't that doesn't mean you have to wait several years to benefit from that, because we have over 1,200 members across the nation. And so there's so many people to get to know. You can have a totally different sphere than what Dan has within that. And like I said, Brett just joined, and our chapter launched in January, and I think he'll have 75 in GCI from KWIP referrals, which is awesome.
Wow.
I saw Heather asked if people in the process of getting their license can join. Anyone in the KW ecosystem can join. So as long as if they're in Winmore, they can join.
Right. And tell us, guys, it is under 40, right? That's the parameters.
Under 40, but we don't check IDs.
Great. Then I want in.
Gotta be young at heart, though.
That's awesome. So
You gotta be young at heart, though.
Yeah, of course. Where can people go to learn more about this? You guys told us a whole lot, but where else can they go?
KWYP.org.
Yeah.
Okay.
Katie likes to talk a lot.
I do, yeah.
Katie,
you can always
Katie,
reach
put
out
that-
to me as well.
Put that in the chat.
I did.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
So KWYP.org. What else, Dan?
Yeah, you can always reach out to me. I can put you in contact with, our network of people. I probably missed a dozen chats already, or messages already in our group chat of the people that I've met and stayed together and traveled with. And it really has become this little weird family of sorts that we bounce ideas off of. We, pick each other up when we're having bad days, or sometimes we put each other in their place of like, look, buddy, it's a little too much right now. Calm down. You're getting a little too big for your britches, which is great. You need that sometimes. It's grounding.
Yes, and it is in Heather, it is in Connecticut, right? Right, guys?
Yeah, so we did have a chapter, kind of have a chapter in Connecticut, looking for new people to kind of take the reins and pick up where we left off mid-COVID. I'd be happy to talk to people that are interested in starting the chapter over again and get going. With my network of everyone, it's the whole organization has changed drastically since I started about 3 years ago. I think we probably had 500 members nationally. Now we have 1,200. We have representation at KWRI that's talking to the higher ups all the time. If you do want to ever be in a leadership position, this is the first step to get there. I've been offered TL roles from it a lot, and I haven't taken bit that yet. But if you ever are interested in that, people are always looking for TLs, PC coaches. And this is where to get recognized and to see those opportunities.
Well, and I'll say, in addition to that, like people really are focused on our group for that. They see us as the future of the industry. I get, it used to be at least one call a month. I think this month I've gotten 5 calls from people wanting either leadership positions for their team, their market center, or just some kind of opportunity. And they call me and ask who I know within the KWYP network that may be interested in that.
Sure. It's a great pool of talent for sure.
Oh my gosh.
Sure.
Yeah, it's awesome. And some of them, stop with me and I just take advantage and hop on whatever they're offering.
Right.
But it really is cool because you have a lot of people looking at this group. So it's a great opportunity to open yourself up to some things you may not have considered.
Sure.
And
So
also, if you're a young agent, this is where you're going to be around younger agents that are looking at a career for 20, 30 years, not the next 5 to 10.
Right.
And it's just a different mindset of building wealth
like-
versus reserving wealth.
Like-minded young people. I like it.
For sure.
I like it. We say like Keller Williams is the land of opportunity, right? We have an opportunity map. KWYP is a certain part of that, guys. So thank you both for your time today.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.
Anytime.
If anybody wants to come to Philly to experience KWYP, we're having Lance Loken in October.
Oh,
9th.
awesome. Oh yeah, we'll have to get more information on that.
I'm going to put my info in the chat if anybody wants to call or email me.
Okay, good. Thank you, Katie.
And I'll be up there, like Dan said, for his thing. So
Cool. Thanks, Dan. All right, guys.
Yeah.
There's another piece of the puzzle and the value proposition. Thanks for being with us today. See ya.